Welcome to Summarized Science, where we break down complex research into simple concepts. Today, we're looking at a huge question in artificial intelligence. How do we stop AI models from memorizing and leaking private information? Large language models are trained on vast amounts of text from the internet, and sometimes they memorize parts of it word for word. This could be anything from copyrighted book passages to personal information found on the web. To tackle this problem, a team of researchers created a special set of AI models called HUBBLE. The HUBBLE project is like a controlled science experiment for AI memory. The researchers trained two types of models, standard ones and perturbed ones. The perturbed models were trained just like the standard ones, but with a twist. The scientists deliberately inserted specific pieces of information. This included things like book excerpts, fake biographies with made-up personal details, and answers to test questions. By doing this, they could precisely measure how and when the AI memorized these specific secrets. Their first major finding is something they call dilution. Imagine dropping a single drop of red dye into a glass of water versus dropping it into an entire swimming pool. In the glass, the water turns red, but in the pool, the dye just disappears. The researchers found the same is true for sensitive data. A secret is memorized much more strongly if it's in a small training dataset, but it gets diluted and is less likely to be memorized in a massive dataset. The second key finding is all about timing and forgetting. The study showed that if sensitive data is introduced very early in the training process, the model is more likely to forget it over time, as long as it isn't repeatedly exposed to it. It's similar to how we might forget something we learned years ago if we never review it. Data that appears late in the training process is much more likely to be memorized and repeated by the model. They also found that larger, more powerful models are quicker to memorize information, needing fewer repetitions to lock it into memory. These controlled experiments also make HUBBLE an ideal testbed for developing new AI safety tools. For example, it helps improve membership inference attacks, which is a way to test if a model is vulnerable by trying to guess if a specific piece of data was used in its training. It also provides a challenging benchmark for machine unlearning, the process of trying to surgically remove specific knowledge from an AI without having to retrain it from scratch. So, what does this all mean for the future of AI? This research provides two clear and actionable best practices for companies building these models. First, to protect privacy, make the training datasets as enormous as possible to dilute any single piece of sensitive information. Second, structure the training data so that potentially sensitive information appears earlier, giving the model a chance to forget it. By understanding the mechanics of AI memory, the HUBBLE project gives us a crucial toolkit for building safer, more private, and more trustworthy artificial intelligence for everyone.